welcome to the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show. I am your host, Shifa, the natural healing voice of the soul of Mother Earth. It's time to listen up, wake up, rise up, and be healthy. You're watching the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show. Well, on today, we have some more wonderful information to bring you. As always, we're talking about our healthy mind, body, family, business, finance, and community. And so with that, we start with our mind. You know, there are many things that we need to do to have a healthy life, to have a healthy body. But it all begins in our mind, what it is we are thinking about. What kinds of thoughts are you keeping? As you may have heard me say time and time again, you become what you think about most of the time. In other words, whatever you think about most of the time, that's what you become. That's what shows up in your life. So here at Oneness Wellness Lifestyles, we're going to start with our affirmative prayer. We're going to start by using our mind to effect change in our world. And our reading for today comes from a creative thought, and it is from 2012, but I just like this one, so we're going to do this one today, and it's called I Work with the Law. The beginning of the top of the page in these books is always so wonderful because it begins with just a little verse from Ernest Holmes, and this one is no different. And let's start with this quote first. It is no more selfish to use spiritual law for personal purposes than it is to plant a garden for your personal use. That's from Ernest Holmes, his book, This Thing Called You. And now our reading for today. I work with the law. Spirit is the creator, the source of all life. I recognize God, the all-good, and know it gives to me continuously. It sustains me every moment of my life. I am one with the universe and all it contains. As a conscious creator in my world, I use divine law for my highest purpose. This is my responsibility and my blessing. I focus my awareness on what I want my life to be and demand that law reflect my consciousness. I release any apparent obstacles in my path that would prevent me from wholeheartedly sharing who I truly am. It is my divine inheritance to live as an expression of spirit. I live in an abundant universe, and I circulate the loving, giving aspects of spirit to those around me. Whenever I look, the beauty of God is evident to me. Its intelligence is apparent in my natural state of harmony and order. All is well in my world, and I joyously accept God's treasures. With thanksgiving, I release my word to the law of mind and allow the truth to set me free. That's our affirmative prayer. Sometimes we call it a treatment. And it comes from Reverend Sandy Freeman Loomis out of Chico, California. And again, this was from Creative Thought from the Centers for Spiritual Living, awakening humanity to its spiritual magnificence. So take a deep breath and just recognize that there is a law of your life. There is universal law, there is natural law, and then there is the law of human. Now, I'm not talking about man-made laws. I'm talking about the laws that govern your body, the laws that make us human. And it's in the relationship of the universal or cosmic law, the natural law, and the human law that we have balance. That's where we find the balance. And so what we're going to do today is talk about you being healthy as always, but from a perspective of how the digestive system actually works in our life so that I can explain to you, help you to see, and maybe bring some revelation or an epiphany maybe even, of how it is our body works with the law of the universe, the laws of nature, and the laws of the human body. So let's start with just a fun self-assessment. So I know you have your blue pen and your white paper so you can take copious notes. You are about to get that natural healing information you've been seeking. So let's go through a little self-assessment. This is going to be fun. There's 5 questions and they each have 2 parts. And so I'm just going to say yes or no, and you can check down on your paper whether it's a yes or no. But in the meantime, you're going to be thinking about what's really going on with your body, what you really need. And then we're going to jump into talking about the digestive system from maybe a few different viewpoints than you've thought of it before, and maybe get to the reason why you may be having some digestive issues, or in general, people that you know, and why acid reflux and all those kinds of things are a big issue in our society. So you think you're healthy. This fun self-assessment tackles a serious problem. The fact that small health issues left unattended can become much bigger over time. And trust me, they're much easier to fix when they're small issues. So here's the first of our 5 little questions. In the last 10 years, have you felt like it's been 15 years on your body? In the last 10 years, has it felt like 15 years? So in other words, do you feel like you're aging rapidly? Yes or no? Yes or no? You only get 9 servings of fruits and vegetables a day if you can include fries and ketchup. Now, we know that French fries and ketchup is not on the diet. However, a lot of us, and I have to admit, even sometimes, depending on where I am, maybe once a month, I might have some fries and ketchup. But I know that that is not contributing to my 9 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. Now, getting 9 servings of fruits and vegetables every day is not an easy thing to do in the world that we live in. But here at Oneness Wellness Lifestyles, we have resources to help you to do that, and a system, a system you can follow that'll help you be healthy and get everything, all the nutrients in your body that you need. Here's our next set of questions. Do you wish you could wake up well-rested, upbeat, and energetic? You know, sometimes are you just dragging? Do you feel like you just have to throw your legs over the side of the bed and then creep a little while till you can actually stand up straight, and you didn't get enough sleep last night, and you know that whole syndrome of I'm tired? Is that you? Yes or no? Do you sometimes crash and give into that caffeine or coffee fix? Yes or no? Energy is a big deal, and it's because we're lacking the vitality, the natural vitality that the body should have. So we go around slumping. We didn't sleep good the night before, and now today we're dragging. And so we give in to drinking the coffee, the harmful energy drinks, if it's not the one that we offer, which is full of vitamins and minerals. But do you give in to that? Yes or no? Did you breathe any indoor or outdoor air today? I know that sounds like a trick question, right? But the thing about that is oxygen is very important, and the facts are that whether it's indoor or outdoor air, there are pollutants in the air. So what are you doing to help get those pollutants, those toxins out of your body? So did you breathe any indoor or outdoor air today? Do you ever get headaches or feel that your mind is a little bit foggier around the edges? You know, headaches are a sign from our body that something's out of whack. So we don't get headaches as a sign to eat aspirin or ibuprofen. We get headaches as a sign that something needs our attention. It's like an early warning signal before it turns into something that is a major problem. So if you answered yes to you get headaches and feel foggier around the edges of your mind, maybe your memory is not as good as it should be, just check yes right there, and we're going to come back and answer some of these. Now, does your tummy ever bother you? Do you have stomach issues, problems? You know, my stomach hurts. Do you ever have that? And do you seem to catch whatever is going around? And if you have children in daycare or in school and they come home with it and then you get it and everybody else in the family gets it, where's your immunity? Do you think you maybe need to boost your immunity and specifically the immunity of that child? This is a very serious issue because there's a lot of stuff going around. So if you check yes to you catch everything that everybody else gets, we're going to make some recommendations for you. Last two. When you wake up in the morning, does your creaking, this is funny, I want to read this. When you wake up, does the cracking of your joints wake up everybody else in the house? You know, you're walking around and your knee is popping and your elbow is popping and you're stretching and your back is popping. Are you waking everybody else up? And last question. Are you concerned that your ticker will skip one of those 100,000 daily beats? Now that's a funny question, but it's very serious. That deals with your cardiovascular health. So a strong heart, a strong immune system, strong digestion, strong mind, memory, lots of energy, and making sure you're getting all the nutrition in your body that you need to be healthy, to overcome that dis-ease you might be feeling in your body. So that's our self-assessment. It's fun, but it's serious. And we don't want to let those seeming little things go, like the headache, that's an early warning signal. We want to catch them. Well, I'm going to come back with the recommendations for that after we hear from Reverend Claire Middleton. We're going to go to our next segment because it's still important, always important, that we get a grasp on our healthy mind. And Reverend Claire Middleton from the Center for Spiritual Living Colors is going to give us some of that in just a moment. Stay tuned.
Good morning. I am Reverend Claire Middleton from the Center for Spiritual Living Colors in Charlotte, North Carolina. Welcome. I'm really very excited about the opportunity this morning to talk to you because we have so many things going on right now in our world. And so I wanted to be able to bring the thought of peace to the table. You know, when we think about peace, I always think that there are emotions that we have. One is love and one is hate. And in reality, those are the two reasons that we show up in a certain way. We're either in fear or we're in love. And so under the word fear is a lot of different definitions and a lot of different actions. And under the word love, absolutely, peace falls. So what I wanted to talk about is where are we in this process while we're watching things go on in our world and they're not exactly the way we would like to see them showing up. And I'm reminded of the song, Peace Begins With Me. And it really does. The most that we can affect really and change is ourselves. And so in these times it is critical that when we get up in the morning, we remind ourselves who and what we are. We remind ourselves that we are peace. And that peace is being at peace with who you are, being at peace with the people in your household. And if you're not, to take a moment to think about who they are and who you are with them. And I like to remind us that we are God expressed. The people that we live with, God expressed. And as we begin to prepare for the day, whether you are the employer or the employee, a consciousness right now of being peaceful is essential. So as you prepare your clothing and you begin to think about getting in your car or getting to the bus or the train, whatever your transportation is, or even if you even work at home, the consciousness in those quiet moments, those moments when our mind just drifts, if you can just fill that moment now with the idea of peace, I guarantee you that you will be not only of service to yourself, but to others. What I am fully aware of is that although we appear to be physical, solid form, we really are a vibration. And if you come in the midst of people that are loving, you feel that vibration. I know there are people in your life, and when they show up, things change, and it's because of the vibration that they walk in. You either want to embrace it or you really want to run from it. So what you want to do is consciously remind yourself that you have an opportunity to walk in a vibration of peace. That requires you to really do some work on yourself. Are you peaceful with you? Do you really love you? Can you look in the mirror and say, I love me? That's an exercise. That's a spiritual practice. And sometimes we have gotten so far away from that. We've listened to others and we've taken on their idea of who and what we are, that I invite you to do that mirror work, where you stand in the front of the mirror every single day. You look into your own eyes and you tell yourself that you love yourself. And you'll feel something shift within yourself. That's part of the peace coming within you. The other thing is that as you move around in your household and there are members in your house that you may have some conflict with, if you can again remind yourself that you are God expressed and so are they, and that you are in a peaceful set, a peaceful mindset, something happens. Something shifts. And as we walk out of the door and we're on our way to wherever it is we go, our place of work, if we're preparing ourselves for the same thing that happened yesterday and it wasn't good and we're arming ourselves up, I invite you to know something different. I invite you to know that you are God expressed, going to meet God in these various scenarios, and that you are at peace. You see, the one thing that I know about us is that we have that choice. We can choose to move in peace, or we can choose to move in war. And war is arming up. Sometimes we don't even realize it. We think about an individual and we start the conversation in our head about what we're going to tell them and how we're going to do da-da-da-da-da. And we really are putting on armor to have a fight with that individual, as opposed to thinking about that individual, recognizing that there is only one God, and that God is in them and is in you, and that you literally are attached to that individual. And in that consciousness, choosing to have a peaceful relationship. So as we do this practice, starting from ourselves and moving into our immediate environment and then out into the world as we move about, something happens. Yesterday, I walked into a restaurant that I often go to, and there was a young lady who was recently hired, and she was very bubbly when she first came on, and I observed her. And I said, wow, that's cool. Because every time somebody came in the door, she greeted them, and she was bubbly and excited about them, and she really wanted to serve them. Well, when I walked in yesterday, it was an entirely different experience. And I looked at her, I said, where'd the bubble go? And she looked at me. I said, honey, don't let the job change you. Stay who you are. You are bubbly and sunshine. Be that. And she looked at me, and I guess she thought about it and decided, yeah, I will be that. And I could see her energy change and start moving back to the young lady that I had been observing. Well, when I went in this morning for breakfast, Miss Bubble was back. And you know, the thing about it is that she really is a spot of sunshine. She really is. And that peace is very needed in that space. And that's what I want each of us to know, that there's something within us, there's something that's bubbly and wonderful that we bring to every place that we go to if we choose to. It is a matter of choice. And if each of us made that choice, then there would be no concern about anything other than peace, because we would be that peace. So what I'm bringing to the table this morning is the opportunity for you to be peace, for you to consciously think about it. When somebody cuts you off as you're driving, to remind yourself you have a choice. You can get angry and upset, or you can be grateful that you're safe and everybody around you is, and be peaceful. When you get out your car, you literally can step, and consciously step peace into Mother Earth. So I don't know whether I've said this to you before, but Mother Earth is alive and well. That energy that we put into the ground each and every day is absorbed by the earth. I honestly think that we have earthquakes because of some of the thoughts in certain areas and some of the actions that are being taken. And it's like Mother Earth says one morning, enough, and shakes it off. And we wonder why we have earthquakes. Peace is available to us. But we make that choice, and we make that choice each and every day, each and every moment. And what I want you to understand is that that choice not only affects you and the people immediately around you, but it also affects the earth. And as you begin to put peace constantly in the earth, it reverberates across the entire globe. And those who step on the earth begin to feel that peace, begin to take it back up into their being. So you really can be an instrument of peace. It really is up to you. I invite you to do that as we turn our televisions on, as we look at the news, and I also invite you to do very little of that, because we need to protect our consciousness, our thoughts, and not get caught up in the fear. But as you hear things, and you will hear things, begin to know that you have an opportunity to help change that. It's not just the governments, but you as an individual have an opportunity to say, I stand, move, think, breathe peace. And it affects not only me, but my world. So I invite you to step into that, to be an instrument, a living instrument of peace for yourself, for the people around you that you know, for the stranger that you might offer, as I did this young lady, the idea of being the bubbly, joyous being that she is, and stay that way. And for the person that you may never, ever meet, recognizing that as you vibrate, that vibration moves out beyond you, not only into the ground, but into the atmosphere. And there's a song out right now, Shifting the Atmosphere. That shift doesn't happen by itself. It happens because we motivate it, because we make a conscious decision to be peace. We're promised a peace that surpasses understanding. And I assure you that it really is there when you're able to recognize that you are totally connected to God, and that God is always peaceful, for there is nothing for it to be against, for it is everything. It is all. And when you recognize that you are a part of this all, and that love is that all, and anything outside of that love is just an illusion that we have taken our power and allowed to show up. The truth is that peace is available to us every single day. And as you take some time to go within and just be still, you'll tap into it. You'll touch it because it is real. And so I bid you peace. And so it is.
If you want to get a lot of people very angry at you, and you're in the health profession, it's fairly simple. Begin to cure incurable diseases.
It would ruin the economy. Billions of dollars.
Cancer is one of the richest multi-billion-dollar industries in the world, and every cancer patient is a commodity.
The huge pharmaceutical companies have everybody in their pocket, from the president on down to the senator's representative. Everybody gets paid.
Something's terribly wrong when you treat cancer and your hair falls out and you vomit. This is truly medieval.
People in the United States and developed countries who are treated for cancer don't even die of cancer. They die of the treatment of cancer.
Many years from now, people look back at this time and wonder what kind of Neanderthals we were.
Happy Healthy Healing Day. Your sister Shifa here with some critical information you need to know about supplements and vitamins. This is an emergency health awareness alert. Emergency health awareness alert. Not all vitamins and dietary supplements are the same. Many popular supplement brands, in fact, contain artificial additives, flow agents, chemical colorings, and even imitation vitamin compounds that your body does not recognize and cannot fully process. So, how can you know whether or not your vitamin and mineral supplements are safe and effective for you? Here are a few helpful tips on what to watch out for when buying vitamins and supplements. Synthetic vitamins. There's a big difference between the natural vitamins found in whole foods and the so-called vitamins added to many popular dietary supplements. Whole food-based vitamins are uniquely bioavailable and occur naturally in foods, plants, and herbs. Synthetic vitamins, on the other hand, are produced in a laboratory and may be derived from toxic sources such as coal tar and petroleum. How can you know the difference? Synthetic vitamins are typically listed on the ingredient labels by their isolate names: ascorbic acid, vitamin C; riboflavin, vitamin B2; and dialpha tocopherol acetate, vitamin E. All our examples are synthetic vitamins commonly added to vitamins and supplements, including multivitamin formulas. Stick with whole food-based vitamins and supplements, including those that clearly delineate they're being derived from plants or other natural sources. This has been your Emergency Health Awareness Alert from Oneness Wellness Lifestyles. I'm your sister Shifa. Happy Healthy Healing Day. You take good care. Well, welcome back. I just love hearing from Reverend Claire. She's like so on point with everything that she is bringing to us. We're helping us keep our mind right? So Oneness Wellness Lifestyles, healthy mind, body, family, business, finance, and community. All of that makes up your whole life, each one of those domains. Okay, so you had some time to think about those questions, that fun self-assessment we did in the first segment. So hopefully you have settled down in your mind and your spirit that there's some things that you may need to address. That's what the whole point of it was. So whether you answered yes or no to any one of those 10 questions, I want to just give you some resources. You know, Oneness Wellness Lifestyles is a resource for you. We bring you the real truth in foods, in personal care, the best things for you. That's what this whole mission is about. So when we talk about food, it's important to recognize that supplementation is huge in our country. 150 million people take supplements every day to bridge the gap between what they should be eating that they're not eating and getting that nutrition into their body. The alarming statistics, however, are that 90% of the supplements that people are taking are synthetic. And believe me, the body knows the difference between synthetic vitamins and real food. So they may seem like they give you a little pep in your step for a moment, but it's not lasting. One of the other serious things I want to bring to your attention about supplementation as we begin to talk about what you really need to put in your body is that please go look at your vitamin bottle. And if there is magnesium stearate in it, you want to throw that in the garbage can. You just want to toss that right now. Magnesium stearate has been shown to block the absorption of your cells when taken over time. Magnesium stearate is found in about 90% of all vitamins, whether they're capsules or pills. Liquids tend not to have them, and certainly whole food, like from the farm to the bottle that I'm recommending for you, will not have any magnesium stearate in it. For more information about the magnesium stearate, go to our website, oneness.lifestyles.com, and go to our blog, and you'll find a whole article there about magnesium stearate and why you want to make sure that's not in your vitamins. So the first two questions we asked were, do you feel like you're aging rapidly? Like the last 10 years feels like 15 years? And remember the ketchup and the French fries? That you're really supposed to be getting 9 servings of fruits and vegetables, but most people are not. So how do you bridge that? You do that with whole food nutrition. Whole food nutrition. Now here at Oneness Wellness Lifestyles, we are your resource for giving you information of how to access that. The number to call is 1-800-609-8157. 1-800-609-8157. So we can help you with that, feel like you're getting older too fast, okay? The next two deal with energy. There's a $63 billion energy drink market, and the coffee is like the second largest commodity in the world. So everybody's up on this energy thing. But why is that? Why are you dragging during the day? Why are you running out of energy? The source of our life is still the source of our life, and so the energy is there, but why don't you feel it? Why don't I feel it? What's going on? So it requires whole foods. Again, the answer to all the questions is whole foods, all right? But specifically, you should know that you can get energy from greens. Now, I'm not talking about collards, and mustard greens. That's not what I'm really talking about. Because remember from the last question, you don't get your vegetables in anyway if it ain't French fries and ketchup. So I'm talking about being able to have a resource for green energy that is not caffeine. Woohoo! Not caffeine, all right? The caffeine toxicity is a huge problem and even causing deaths in teens who are drinking excess amounts of those energy drinks. So we have resources here for green energy, and we also have energy for you in the form of nutrition. So it's hugely important that you are aware of that. Next two, did you breathe some indoor air or some outdoor air today? Right? Well, if you're breathing, the answer to that question is yes. Yes, yes, yes. Well, you're breathing in toxins. Just the fact of breathing alone is part of our metabolism and creates free radicals in the body. So it's just part of the system of life. But breathing in when you're outside is like dangerous. And for children who built low to the ground, all the fumes are down there, the car exhaust, all of that. So you have to really think about your respiratory system. Think about the pollutants that you're actually taking in. If you open the cabinet underneath your sink and breathe that in, or when you're cleaning your tub with whatever that is you're using, you are breathing in harmful chemical fumes. And so although it's not tangible, you can't really touch it and feel it, you smell it. If you can smell it, it's in the air. It's something that can affect your health and your well-being, okay? That's really important. Headaches. I really already talked about headaches, but it's like your early warning system. We need to purify. It's important that you purify your body, and this speaks to the air and to you getting these headaches and feeling like you got brain fog. It's about purifying your blood, purifying your colon. So I said we're going to talk about digestion. Does your stomach hurt? Do you have pain in your belly? Does your tummy bother you? Well, your gut, right? Everybody says that now. You used to not want to say that, but your gut, right, is like a major part of not only your digestion, but you actually feel emotions in your gut. So if you get nervous, if you've got a lot of nervous energy, that may upset your stomach. If you've got, things going on that cause you to have anxiety, that will upset your stomach. If you eat the wrong foods in the wrong combinations, that will upset your stomach, right? Fruits and vegetables do not go together. Starches and proteins do not go together. We're talking about food combining there. That will upset your stomach. When I start talking to you about digestion, how you chew your food and how long you chew your food before you let it go down your esophagus also determines the health of your digestive system. So we have teeth to masticate, right, to chew up the food, and we have taste so that the saliva comes in and starts the digestion process right in your mouth before you actually swallow the food. So it goes into a lot. So making sure you have something for your digestion, something that you can supplement, is one of the resources that we offer you as well. In terms of what do you need to do, I said we have a system. It's called your Oneness Wellness Success Plan. And you can get that and know exactly what your system should be for you. It's customized, it's individual. And when I say system, that's an acronym, system. Save yourself, right? Save yourself time, energy, and money. That's what Oneness Wellness Lifestyles is here to help you do. All right? Last two. When you wake up and your joints are cracking and creaking, are you waking up everybody in the house? Arthritis, something in the itis family got you. All right? As we age, as we mature, let me say it that way. Some of us don't want to admit that we're getting older, but as we mature and we're just moving through life, our joints may become an issue. If you eat white flour and sugar, and those things become crystallized in your joints, your body has to store it somewhere, and it's stored in your elbows, in your joints, in your fingers, in your feet even. You know how many bones you have in your feet? And in your knees. And so you need something to help to repair the cartilage. You need to be able to keep your joints lubricated. And we bring you those things that you need to make sure that you're lubricated and you don't feel like the Tin Man, okay? And cardiovascular health, oh my goodness. It's one of the major causes of death. in America today, cardiovascular disease. And you may not be aware of this, but diabetes is heart disease. It's a cardiovascular issue. So we really want to address these. So you have to have a healthy heart, healthy joints. You want to have enough energy in your body. You want to make sure you're getting your vitamins, your nutrition in, and that you have the essentials that your body needs. Nutrition is critical. And that's why I took the time to have you to really just kind of sit down and think about these questions today. Rather than just run on about, let me give you this, let me tell you that. I want you to be able to really just think about it. That's why we start with healthy mind. Because there are like 8 things you have to do to be healthy. But the first thing you have to do is make up your mind that you're going to do the other 7. Okay? And that's what today was about, to really give you a self-assessment to be able to identify where you are and then make a decision, actually decide that you want to go from where you are to where you really want to be. And here at Oneness Wellness Lifestyles, we're here to help you do that. You can contact us at 1-800-609-8157. That number again is 800-609-8157. Visit us online. We have lots of resources online, free stuff online at oneness-lifestyles.com. oneness-lifestyles.com. Download your free ebook and it'll give you an outline for how to begin. We'll be right back after these really important messages that you need to know with Oneness Wellness Lifestyles. Be right back. Stay tuned. Great day. This is Shifa from Oneness Wellness Lifestyles, and I'm here with your emergency health awareness alert. Are you innocently poisoning yourself? 90% of people who take health supplements are poisoning themselves. How? If you've heard anything about magnesium stearate or stearic acid, as it is sometimes called, you know that vitamin and supplement bottles everywhere are loaded down with this potentially dangerous and life-endangering additives that don't need to be there. The reality is, you probably have not heard of stearic acid though. Believe it or not, many supplements, including those made by reputable brands, contain a flow agent additive that over time can actually block the absorption of nutrients into your body. This ingredient is known as magnesium stearate, and regular consumption of it is linked to the development of a harmful biofilm in the intestines that cause digestive problems. Despite having the word magnesium in its name, magnesium stearate is not a source of nutritive magnesium. The only reason why supplement manufacturers add this chalk-like substance to their products is to make them easier to process through their machinery. Supplement companies have been intentionally misleading their customers for some time now, making it seem and making it sound like the inclusion of this additive is helpful for your general welfare. There is stearic acid in 90% of all pills currently on the market. For more information about this emergency health awareness alert, contact us at 1-800-609-8157. And we can direct you to supplements that do not contain magnesium stearate. This has been an emergency health awareness alert. I'm your sister Shifa from Oneness Wellness Lifestyles. Welcome back to Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show. This has been really good for me. I hope it's been good for you, because I really wanted you to start taking a look at what's really going on with you. What's really going on with you. And to let you know that help is available, that assistance is available for you. I want to recap some of what we talked about already, because it's really important that you get an understanding of why it is that we went through those lists. Well, the first thing you want to make sure is that you are using farm fresh fruits and vegetables, carefully chosen herbs, minerals, enzymes, and probiotics. Okay? Now that sounds like a whole lot more than the 9 servings and fruits and vegetables. Well, you can get that. You can get that. We're a resource for you, and we can show you how to put all that together in a system that helps you save yourself time, energy, and money. Recognize how the whole foods, or what claims to be whole foods when you go to the store, recognize how it's been processed. If you don't know how it's been processed, you need to ask some more questions. Ask some more questions. You want to be looking for whole food supplements, nutrients that help you fight the aging process, this premature aging. Now, we're all maturing, we're all getting older. It's the cycle of life. But premature aging is quite a different thing. It's when you feel like the last 10 years feel more like 15. And that doesn't have to be. So when you're fighting this premature aging, you're also fighting disease, and you're beginning to infuse your body with the natural energy that it needs, and cleanse your body from the environmental toxins that we talked about when you're breathing the indoor or the outdoor air. And really key is making sure that your choice of whole food nutritionals do not have any artificial or synthetic chemicals or substances or fillers added, and that nothing valuable was taken away. All right, so you want the good stuff inside. You want the good stuff inside. So why am I talking about whole foods? Because this whole country used to be agricultural, so people were healthier, and we have more disease on the planet now than at any time in recorded history. It's really off the chain. And what's happened is we have this industrial farming that's taking place and has removed us from real food, from farm fresh food. I remember asking a group of children one time, where do fresh fruits and vegetables come from? And they gave me the name of the grocery store. They weren't able to think past the grocery store to the farm, to the ground that it grows out of, that it grows on a tree, that it comes from a vine. They had no idea about that. All they knew was that you go to the grocery store and get it. And it's in a box or a bag or wrapped in cellophane. In other words, it's processed. It's processed. And because of this industrialized farming, food has drastically changed for the worse. And that's why I'm talking to you about whole foods. Our grocery shelves are filled with over-processed stuff. You can't even call it food. It's just stuff. And if it was really food, we wouldn't see all of the sickness that we are witnessing. Maybe you yourself personally, or friends and family members. The crops today, this is why I'm talking to you about whole foods, because the crops today have been changed genetically and exposed to so many chemicals and toxins. And so when you eat the foods that you think you're supposed to be eating, right, if they've been sprayed, and this is really, it brings me to another point. Just last week there was a law release. Well, the Supreme Court decided that when they're spraying the crops with chemicals, that they are no longer responsible for the overspray. So if you have a garden and you're trying to grow it organically, and then somebody else is growing a garden and they're putting chemicals on it and they're allowed to spray, that the FDA is saying that they are not responsible for getting those toxins on your fruits and vegetables anymore. They used to be. So this it's like everything going downhill when it comes to you and I being able to have fresh fruits and vegetables, the foods and the nutrients that our bodies need to be healthy. Today's supplements, this is why we're talking about whole foods, because today's supplements are typically synthetic or fractionated or even dangerously sourced from China or somewhere else. So it's really important that when you're looking for nutritionals, when you are looking for whole food nutritionals, that you know exactly what it should say on the label, because the labels are very deceiving. I'll give you an example. Ascorbic acid. Ascorbic acid is listed as vitamin C on the label of your nutritional. Well, that's only one molecule of the vitamin C complex. So they've extracted this ascorbic acid and then synthetically made it and then put it in your vitamin and telling you and convincing you, because you're taking it every day, that you're getting vitamin C, when you're really not. Because the other 7 components of that vitamin C molecular structure that they just took the ascorbic acid, your body knows the difference because something's missing. And so you need a whole food where the whole vitamin, the whole nutrient is available for your cellular health, So with that, let's talk a little bit about your digestion and your cellular health. It's really important that you digest your food well. So now that we're actually moving to eating the right things, you've got to digest your food well. Man is so perfectly attuned with the universe when all his bodily functions are working properly that he's like a miniature template of the universe himself. And every cell in our body is like that. It's like a little universe. So let's start first with water. When you drink water, I always tell you, and everybody's telling you now, half your body weight in ounces of water. Well, why is that? Because your cells need water. Here's a very interesting idea. Actually, it's a fact. Water causes your molecules to turn into atoms, and then your atoms to turn into electrons. Now, that whole process that I just went through, that little short snippet, and you should research this. So from water, we go from a molecule to an atom to an electron. Within those steps is your nutrition, right? Your ability to turn it into energy. Because the atoms, like atomic energy, becomes electrons. And have you ever noticed that a person who's really taking care of themselves has this, what we call this healthy glow? That's because their electrons are firing. Now, this is something that's happening in your body and through the digestive system. So let's take a look at how this happens for us. It takes about 4 hours to digest your food. So from the time you put it in your mouth, from the time that you have the taste for it, and this is why it's important that food tastes good, because it starts the saliva in your mouth, which is where digestion starts. You chew it up. Now, the person who just gulps their food down, you definitely have digestive issues. And that's a part of your problem. The taste is part of the digestion because that's what's bringing the gastric fluids into the mouth, the saliva into the mouth. You're chewing it up enough so it's small enough that when you actually swallow it and it goes down into that bag we call the stomach, and then the gastric juices come in, if it's small enough and it's mostly liquid, your digestive system has the ability to then break it down, and move it out into the bloodstream. But if you got hunks of food down there where you didn't swallow it well, what will happen is the gastric juices will only be able to deal with the smaller pieces and the things that are more liquid. And it actually absorbs out through the colon, right? So it's from there, it's from the stomach, it sends it out. And here's another thing. If you're one of those overeaters or you don't feel like you had enough food to you stuff and got to loosen your belt and go sit down and go, if that's you, you have digestive issues too. That's why you have to go to sleep after you eat so much, because your body has to knock you out to take the energy from the rest of your body to just deal with what you did to it. So if that's you, you kind of want to stop that. And here's why. When you fill up the stomach like that and it gets overextended, there's this little tube that's on the side of the stomach that's called a pylorus, I think is the name of it, and it's the little valve that sends food out. And if you fill it up faster than it needs to, or it can't deal with it, the stomach will just dump everything out that it can't deal with into your intestine. And so that's why you can't go to the bathroom, because it's too big, it's too clumpy, it's too all of that, because your stomach, you forced your stomach to have to evacuate stuff out so that it could do its job. And then you wonder why your stomach hurts, right? Remember that question, does your tummy hurt? All right. So I wanted to give you some mechanics of how the digestive system works. Now, the other thing that's happening is, that wave, so your stomach is going like this, kind of like how your heart beats. Your heart is a valve, and your stomach is kind of churning that up with those gastric juices, right? Well, that's happening at a vibrational rate. And if you're making it work too hard, your whole body is out of balance. There's a way that you put the right amount of food in, you chew it up, you give the body the ability to handle it well, right? Because you're mindful, and now that wave that your stomach is creating as it's digesting the food is a rhythm. It's like dancing. And when it's doing the right thing and it's in sync with the universal law and the natural law and the law of the human, now you have proper digestion. So I just wanted to kind of work you through what's really going on when your body is digesting food, so you could think about it better and take your time in eating and make sure that you're eating whole farm fresh foods. And for the resources, for those of you who supplement, for the resources to get whole food nutrition, call us at 1-800-609-8157 or visit us online at oneness.lifestyles.com. Download your ebook. That's all the time I have for us today, and I look forward to talking with you again soon. You be well. You've been watching the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show. Take care.